Atención, Wilson Manyoma, Borbona.
Masters and None, episode 105. 105. And the world is making real good changes that I like.
A lot of progressive decision making going on right now. A lot of rectifying.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And first of all, we got a special guest on the podcast today. We got a real special guest. It's Berto's new tattoo. Everybody say hi to that bad bitch on the left arm. Everybody say what's up. That shit is so fire. I want to really take a real good look at it.
I got the tank on today for you guys. It's summertime. I got the tats out.
He got the tats out. The tats out. I feel like we might sound. I want to hear this.
You think we sound funny? You think there's funny sounds going on? I want to let you guys know if I look a little more homeless than usual, it's because my car's in the shop and I haven't been able to make it to the barbershop. So my homeless look is a direct result of it's the worst, like having a car that's down.
Yeah, having a car that's down isn't fun, bro.
Even when you think, like, I don't even use my car that much. Like, if you would ask me, like, do you need a car? I would say, like, I don't need a car. I don't really use it that often. But when I don't have it, I'm like, I can't do anything.
You're stuck at home, bro.
Yeah.
You're stranded 100%. You got to rely on people, or you just got to stay in the house. You just got to stay in the house and find shit to do. That's what you got to do.
I've been drinking black coffee for like the past 4 days because I didn't have any milk in the house. And I'm like, God damn, I got to go get milk. And every time my girl comes home, I just feel like, I don't need milk till tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm good. I think I'll figure it out.
So I asked my mom to bring me milk the other day. And it's funny because my mom be asking me for stuff. And I'm like, yo, mom, you need to put in like a 48 hour. Like, you can't ask for anything today. Like, if you ask me to do something, like, I need a 72-hour notice. Like, you can't ask me to do anything today.
Nah, nothing today unless you want to give me the keys.
Yeah, so I call her. I'm like, hey, are you going out today? And she's like, yeah, I got to go. I got a doctor's appointment. And I'm like, okay, cool. Are you going to be like in the direction of my house? Because I want to inconvenience them as little as possible. My mother. I want to inconvenience her as little as possible so that in the future, if she needs something from me, she decides that she wants to inconvenience me as little as possible, right?
Yeah.
So we could do I want it to be fair.
And you don't want to be in debt.
I don't want to be in debt. So I asked her, she's like, I'm not going anywhere near your house and I'm not going anywhere near a supermarket. She was like, but I will bring it to you because I'm a good person. You see?
Yeah.
I'm a good, and I was like, not at all the point I wanted to make or like the situation I wanted to happen, but it's how it went down.
See,
now I'm in debt.
There's one thing the only thing that I would prefer when it comes to, in terms of debt, I hate debt. I'd prefer financial debt over favor debt.
Oh, 100%.
You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Chris in the chat. He said he didn't know he bought tickets to the gun show.
Yeah, he ain't know.
But yeah, no, 100%. I mean, listen, sometimes you got to ask people for favors. It's like the name of the game. I try to do it as little as possible, especially like ones that I know that I hate doing. Like dropping people off at the airport. Yeah. Boy, do I fucking hate.
That's why I didn't ask you to drop me off or pick me up.
I do it
because I knew you were going on vacation shortly after I was. And I was like, I know if he drops me off at the airport, very possible he might ask me to drop his ass off at the airport in 2 weeks.
Yo, I'm telling you right now, when we were going to the airport, my girl was like, how are we getting to the airport? And I was like, I guess we're going to have to take the train. Because I've already, with my family, I've already made a point. Like, don't ever ask me to pick you up or drop you off at the airport. I'd rather pay for like their Uber to get back than to drive there myself and get them.
Facts.
Not because I don't like them.
No, it's nothing personal.
No.
It sucks no matter who you are.
100%.
I wouldn't want to pick up Beyonce at the airport.
Wouldn't want to pick her up.
I'd be like, yo, can't you just catch a ride? Like J-Lo, like, yo, pick me up from the airport. I'd be like, oh, stop playing, bro.
Yeah,
like, have A-Rod drop you off. Facts.
But my girl goes, well, you know what? I'm going to ask your sister because I've taken her to the airport, blah, blah, blah. And my sister and my girl got to have a great relationship. And then my sister agreed to pick us up and drop us off, bro. I was pissed. I was like, fuck. Now they're going to need us to pick them up from the airport. And now who's leaving? I think my sister's going to like Austria or some shit like that next week or in like 2 weeks.
You see, bro? And now you already know who's the main favor collector. Who's coming like, like this, like Vinny the Chin coming to the door to collect. They're coming to ask for the favor.
Yeah. Someone's going to have to take him to the airport.
Yeah, somebody's going to have to. Great. Is that going to land on me?
The only thing I can hope is that my car's still broken down.
You're about to like tell him like, yo, come on, bro. Can't you find something else and just keep it for another week?
Yeah, which I don't think that's going to happen. My car's just waiting on parts.
That's hilarious.
So who knows?
We'll see, man. We'll see. I don't think it might not be that bad.
Or pray for like a hurricane or something like that.
Yeah, it might not be that bad, bro.
Yeah, it's not. You know what? Once it's done, you realize it's not that bad. But the sucky part is like driving to the airport and then seeing all the traffic on the on the eastbound side and knowing that the second you get there, you're gonna leave. So that traffic, that shit's gonna be waiting there for you.
Absolutely, it's not. You're not gonna be at the airport long enough for that to clear up.
No, you're not.
No way. Absolutely not. Damn, that sucks. I can't front. You're stressing me out. I'm getting fucking stressed out right now.
It's like, it's crazy. And I feel bad because I don't want to say no to my family when they ask me for favors. You know what I'm saying? That's not my intention, But man, it sucks to drive to the airport.
Yeah, driving to the airport is a pain in the ass.
It's a miserable experience.
It really is a fucking pain in the ass, bro. I told you about the Uber driver that came to pick me up to take us to the airport.
Was he talking shit?
Bro, he complained the whole time about how terrible driving to the airport is.
And that's what he does for a living.
And here's what he does. He pulls up, he was like, all right. He watched me put the bags in the trunk. I was like, what the hell, bro? And the whole time he's like, oh, here we go. Where we going? JFK. Like, I was like, dude, like, what the hell, bro? Why did you pick up the ride?
You told him LaGuardia. He's like, is it fun? That's funny. It says JFK there because I'm going to LaGuardia.
Yeah, right. I know, bro.
I'd rather fucking go to Jersey.
I'm actually going to Newark.
One time, one of my boys' brothers calls me, tells his brother, he goes, yo, I got to go to the airport. Can you drop me off at the train station? So he says, yeah, sure. He says, get Roberto so you guys can ride together or whatever. So he picks me up and he comes to my house. He's like, yo, I didn't make the Brentwood train station. I have to go to like another line. So we're like, yeah, sure, whatever. We'll go to that line. We can start getting on the highway. And he goes,
we missed that train too.
There is no train over there. I have to go to Newark. Like, you guys are taking me to Newark. Congratulations. And it was like his older brother. And we were like, I guess we had a choice, but it's like, you don't have a choice. What are you going to do? Not take this dude to the airport? He has to go. And he tricked us into driving him all the way to Newark.
Oh, so he knew the whole time?
He knew the entire time. He was just driving us like in that direction. That's why he told him to pick me up so that this guy didn't have to drive alone. Because the whole time he knew that he was tricking us into taking him to Newark.
That's a maniacal plot. Yeah. This man is a sociopath. I think I know who this is.
You know exactly who it is.
That's
not the first time he's gotten me. One time he got me to go with him.
This is why his brother's like that. He would do the same shit.
Bro, one time this guy got me to go to like Maine or some shit with him to go pick up a car. Bro, he was like, I'm like, where are we going? He's like, oh, we're going to like, I forgot where he said we were going.
Going to get some lobster rolls.
He made it sound like it was close, bro. We had to take, the buses you take in Canal Street?
Yes.
We had to take a bus from
You had to take the Chinese bus?
The Chinese bus. And then it was so long, like, that we had to go to, like, we ended up being like a German bus. We had to get off that bus and get onto like another person's
my God.
bus.
You guys were like doing Epcot Center.
Bro, we went to go pick up a Jeep. I'll never forget it. And, Jeeps they're cool cars. They're good cars.
Easy.
They're not bad cars. But like I know, that these motherfuckers ain't very aerodynamic.
Absolutely not.
It's like a wind tunnel in that thing.
Yeah, it's like playing baseball with a Rubik's Cube.
It's like, let's think of like what would be the hardest shape to like shape a car out of and like make it go down the road. They're like, oh, fucking square. Or square. Square would be the hardest one. So it's like, all right, let's do it. Wrap it up. Square. And I want to be able to take the roof off. So make everything plastic.
Yeah. And so not only do I want to make it square, I want to provide a ton of wind resistance by taking the roof off and allowing everything to pocket in the trunk.
Yeah, I'm sure there was one that had like a windshield that had like a little bit of a slant on it. And they were like, what's up with that slant on the windshield? That's not a fucking square. I want the windshield to be flat.
Bro, have I told you how many windshields I've gone through in the last like 6 months?
Dude, I know you've been through like 3 windshields, right?
3, 4. And the 4th one is cracked right now.
Is it really?
Yes, it is.
Oh my God. Yeah, dude.
Dude, I looked it up and, in my mind, I had thought to myself about the shape of the windshield. How the windshield's very vertical, which means that it's going to absorb all of the impact of anything that hits it. So I had already kind of put this together in my head, but I was like, I'm not a scientist, kind of, I'm not a physicist. Let me look this up. So I start searching on forums. Everybody shit cracks. It's a Jeep thing based on the vertical alignment of the windshield. That's exactly what happens.
Because that shit's at a 90-degree angle with the fucking hood.
Bro, this is like, you know how Floyd Mayweather has got like punches roll off Floyd Mayweather? That's how typical windshields are.
That's how it's supposed to be.
My windshield is like the Arturo Gatti of cars. It's just like hit me in the face, whack, whack.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
Dude, wind is supposed to like, nothing's supposed to hit your car. Like it's supposed to be designed so that when you drive, like it creates like this. I'm not a fucking physicist either. And we're going to talk about it. I got a clip that shows you why people should stay in their lane. But before we get to that clip, my understanding of automobiles is it's supposed to create like this like wind tunnel almost, and that nothing touches your car. Like everything just kind of. That's why you've ever seen a leaf or something like that come at your car and it goes
and it follows kind of the shape of the car.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So it creates like an air current around it.
Exactly.
Look at that. We're breaking it down, bro.
I don't know if you've probably never seen this, but like race cars with those big wings. And
don't underestimate my
automotive.
I know when you and Seeker were here. I've been studying up since then.
Okay, no, if you guys want to see what he's talking about, there's a really funny short on our page of when Seeker was here and we were having car talk and Justin was here and he was very, very engaged. But check it out. It's a short. It's super funny. But when you ever seen race cars? They have like the big wings and they have like the canards and things up the front. Those like little things on the bumper.
Yes.
Side skirts, all that stuff. All that stuff is like designed like intentionally for like downforce and for like it's to work with your suspension, to work with your car, to make you go faster. And how they test it is they put your car in a fucking wind tunnel and they simulate like like you going 100 miles an hour or whatever
by moving the wind around you instead of actually hurling the vehicle through the air.
Yeah, I don't know the fucking science behind it, but they do that, and that's how they test all that stuff.
Wow. See, I thought all the side skirts and the lips on the bar, I thought all that was just to get seniors in high school laid.
No, well,
that's the only purpose of it my whole life growing up.
When you see them in the streets, yeah. The truth is when you see these street cars with big wings, those are like wings on penguins. They don't do anything. But when you see people on the track with most of those, dude, it gets so serious that like on like racing the divisions like Formula Drift and stuff like that, they'll put bigger plates on the side of the spoiler because the car's going sideways to like slow the car down because of the wind or the air or the whatever hitting that big plate will like slow the car down as opposed to making it something like pointy that the car could cut through.
Damn, it's almost like sailing at that point.
Yeah, dude, it gets very, very, very scientific. Something to do with the air in the north and the air in the south coming together. Very scientific.
That's some wild shit, bro. I'm impressed.
Yeah.
I'm impressed. That's some physics at its finest.
Not as impressed as I am on a Bronx physician that was checking out a man that was inebriated in the street. We got a funny clip for you guys. It's
not funny. This is medicine practiced at its finest by more than likely a person with a PhD that's not a medical doctor.
So a couple of episodes ago, we had a fucking conversation about how Justin, and I kind of agree with him somehow, some way. We were talking about how people with PhDs, like, the term doctor should be reserved for medical physicians, not for people with PhDs in mathematics. They got to come up with another word for those guys because the word doctor is almost synonymous with physicians, not necessarily people who have PhDs in basket weaving or anything like that. And you don't see it in this video, but the video we're about to show you, I can only imagine that somebody yelled, "Is there a doctor nearby?" Yes. And this woman or man, whatever this person is, has like a PhD in like chiropractic. What is it called? Chiropraxy? What's the
chiropractic medicine?
Yes, this person has something like that. Or what do you think that they have? Before we play it,
more than likely a PhD in like anthropology, maybe a PhD in communications.
Communications is a good one.
Definitely communications.
Definitely communications.
If you watch, there's some hand gesturing that might stem from some kind of signing, some kind of signing based like elective that 100% was taken.
Yes, this is play the fucking clip.
All right, so what number? Where's the clip at?
I think it's video 1, but it could be video 2. What the fuck? Not that video.
No!
It's not that video.
No!
This is the one.
All right. Turn it down a little bit. A little bit.
Oh, he got a pulse. Watch. What is she doing?
He got a pulse.
She felt his pulse through there. You see him come up for a minute. He came. Whatever she's doing, it was working. But she has to get back to that spot. Get back to the spot, honey. You'll find it. Keep grabbing at it. You're not get back there. Now what's she do?
here
She
we
hold
go.
his nose.
Yeah, he got pulse. He got pulse.
You got a pulse. Where'd you check it? Oh!
Those are different kind of compressions. Those aren't the compressions.
Check his pulse.
I'll tell you what, if he had a pulse, he don't know more.
He got pulse.
Why'd she go straight for his meat? She went straight for his meat.
That poor girl is thirsty.
She's not even doing anything else.
This man can't even give consent. This man is not able to provide consent.
Oh,
Unbelievable.
I forgot we were going to name this segment.
See? And this, folks, is a part of a new segment that we're going to be doing here on the podcast, the Masters and M podcast. And we might do one. I think we're going to do one every Monday and every Thursday.
It makes sense.
It's going to be a portion of our podcast, and it's going to be called the Reddit Report.
Yeah, it's going to be videos or stuff that we found on Reddit throughout the day or throughout the week that we thought was hilarious.
Correct.
And we'll give you our take on it.
Or incredible. Sometimes you find some heroic shit on there.
Or incredible, some heroic. Yeah,
You
we
know?
just got to get some. We'll get the animations and everything going.
Yeah,
we'll make it look nice for you guys.
but that's part of it. So, in conclusion, when you ask if there's a doctor in the house and the anthropology PhD stands up, just cross your legs. Tuck it back, all right, before she starts looking for a pulse.
I wasn't with you in the beginning of this argument, but now seeing this live in front of my face, I have no arguments.
That's it, bro.
We've
That's
got to
it.
come up with a different word.
And clearly, her practice of medicine was not effective.
No, what?
Clearly.
It looked like he came back for a second, didn't it? It
Yeah.
looked like she found like a button, and then she was like looking for it again. You ever?
That was called nonverbal no. All right? I wish I could see her face. Because had she been a little bit of a looker, that might have worked.
Yeah.
And I wish that we had a kind of an outcome statement for you folks. A patient outcome. I wish we had a way to figure out if this man made it or not, and if this form of medicine, this practice was effective.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, the PhD in anthropology may have been effective. We got to check. We got to do some homework.
Would this fall under Western medicine or is this like Eastern medicine? What does this fall under?
Good question. I mean, it seems kind of holistic.
Yeah, this is a
like,
holistic approach, right?
It looks like holistic.
You think she's a vegan?
Is she a vegan? No, because she went right for the meat.
You're right. You're right.
I think she's carnivore.
We got a carnivore on our hands.
Carnivore diet.
Jesus Christ! I don't understand why she went straight for that dude's piece.
I'll tell you what, bro. I wish if there was some kind of, he was like, I would have been like, you know what? Hey, maybe we should consider this. We'll take it back to the table.
We got to get past this because I'm about to get disgusting.
Yeah.
The things that are coming through my head right now.
Yeah. We're gonna go ahead and pull. We're gonna
Pull me out of this
We're
situation.
gonna yank you, right?
Yeah.
Give you the yank. Put the wrap it up music on. All right, we're gonna cut you off like Sinatra at the Grammys. That's what we're gonna do.
Oh my God.
All right, so I know that we did have another clip that partially got started there.
You want to play it? We can play it. This is also.
This is still part of the Reddit report.
It's still part of the Reddit report. Yeah.
So, but I'm a little upset because it's not. It only played for a second, but I wanted to restart. So this is what we're gonna do. We got another clip for you guys. Now, this is someone practicing veterinary medicine without a license.
Yep.
So we just had a medical doctor or a PhD acting as a medical doctor. Now we have a
PhD.
PhD pretending that he practices veterinary medicine, but this has more of a positive outcome.
Yeah. Different.
This is more of a positive outcome, a little more effective.
This one would go to my original point where I originally felt like they should all be doctors. They're doctors. It is what it is.
Yeah. So actually, I know we're on the fence with this one.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna play this for you guys. Now, apparently, this was after the Golden State Warriors won the championship.
Yeah, yo, motherfuckers. Hold on before we even get there. I want you guys to, people with like exotic animals or like pit bulls love bringing them out like once or twice a year. We talked about it a couple episodes ago with the Puerto Rican Day Parade.
Yeah.
How people just bring out these enormous dogs that nobody ever seen them with.
And that they don't know how to control.
They
and
don't know how to.
out.
Yeah. So this is, so I guess the Golden State Warriors won, and these guys, they got the dogs out. They let the dogs out.
The streets turned up. So,
Go ahead.
and again, we're not sure if the victim in this scenario is okay, similar to our last friend. And, I hope he's okay, and I hope he's, So let's play this. What do you got? What are you doing? You want me to play this? I don't want you to miss it.
Yes.
Are you going to research if he's okay?
I just wanted to look up the title real quick, but we're good.
The title of what?
Of that clip, but don't worry about it. We're good.
All right. So we're going to play this right now. And this is also from the Reddit report. And this is heroic and
This is
also
heroic.
intriguing.
This person definitely has been waiting to do this for a long time. This isn't their first day on the job. Go ahead.
No, I'll tell you what. Some training took place here. A couple of drills.
All right. And
Ready?
I want you guys to keep good attention on this guy's technique.
Yes.
Because you might need to do this one day.
That's right. And it proves effective. Rumor previously, now it's been proven effective.
Yes,
Ready?
sir. Let's hear it.
I just did it. You're gonna die.
Look at that.
Hey!
Right there.
All right. So we're going to run this back in case anybody missed it.
I'm going to lower it down a little
Look.
bit. Keep it. The dogs are fighting.
Dogs are fighting, and that older gentleman is trying to save his own dog. The other dog's locked on.
And the
Here
blue
comes
hat. Watch the blue hat guy.
Good Samaritan.
Ooh,
Oh!
finger in the dog's butt.
He went second knuckle deep. We're going to run it back again.
Look at the other guy in the blue jacket hold the tail as this guy executes his perfect technique. People are spraying water. That's not
That's
working.
right.
Look at this guy. Finger in the butthole.
Oh!
Boom. Dog
Whoa!
lets go. Just like that.
Just like that, and he let go. We're going to run it back again because I want you guys to you see he's holding the tail. This right here is a first assist in a surgical procedure. The other gentleman is executing the process.
Yes.
The other gentleman is first assisting.
Look right there.
Oh!
Finger
whoa.
directly in the butthole, and then he walks away. It almost looked like he pulled a pin out of a grenade, right?
I'll tell you, he did. He absolutely did. But it looked like that right there is a technique that you do. We also call that, on the streets, we call that the throttle.
Yeah, the throttle, priming the weed whacker. Because it looked like, if you look at it, it looked like he went in there, but then he went a little vertical. And then he pumped a couple times. That thing's like a vacuum. You know that. You know what I'm saying? So
You can hear him start up.
Yeah.
You can hear him start.
He walked away, definitely, because, first of all, that's not that guy's first time with a finger in a dog's asshole. I'm telling you, because nobody does it. He had one guy grabbing the tail. It looked like they both were in on this.
Well, because it wasn't the first time. If you hear, the one guy's like, stick your finger in his butt.
Does he say that?
Yeah. And he's like, I did. And he's like, do it again. So he must have got soft last time. This time, he went full on second thumb knuckle deep. He went all the way in, ding dong, all the way to here. That thumb disappeared. You remember this trick? This whole trick here? This whole trick right here? That went down. I am impressed. I'm impressed
Very impressed.
I'm impressed by the
Effectiveness?
the effectiveness. I'm impressed by the poise.
Yeah.
I'm impressed by somebody jumping in. Of course, one dickhead is filming the whole thing.
Yeah, but this guy's execution was flawless. I'm glad that this guy was filming. Normally, I do hate that when there's help needed, and instead of helping, you're just like filming it for social media.
Yeah.
I get it that somebody has to document it for the masses, but at the same time, let's have some like human decency. I think in this situation, there was enough people on the job, and obviously there was a professional there.
Correct.
Him and his assistant executed this flawlessly. I didn't
Yep.
see their original failed attempt, but I didn't have to see it.
No, you know what? I don't need to see it. I don't need to see it. I'm glad that we got to witness the full-on success because, Lord knows, I mean, there's nowhere to wash your hands out there either. So I don't know what he's doing with that thing.
Dude, he pulled that out of there as if like there was gonna be he was gonna pull more than just fucking his finger out. Like there was gonna be an evacuation.
Well, I'll tell you what, he was ready for that dog to turn around.
Oh, that too. Yeah.
That's what that is. I mean, nobody likes that unless you give him a heads up.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Nobody likes that. You know what I mean? How you supposed to time your breaths?
Yeah, that's
you know
true.
What I mean?
Yeah.
The dog was tense. He was in the middle of a bite.
Dude went in between breaths.
That's it. Yeah, he was like 1, 2, huh? He was
Yeah.
like 1 Mississippi, 2
I
Mississippi.
love how the other dude's holding the dog's tail up. That's like it was orchestrated. It was
Yeah.
great. It was organized, flawless execution.
No,
10
absolutely.
out of 10.
I'm completely 10 out of 10. I'm completely impressed. 100%.
Dude, that dog let go immediately.
Yeah. Immediately, man, he was like, oh. He had to let go to go, hey.
That was so effective. I think that they should sell instruments to put in your dog's asshole in case he gets crazy one day. Like they
I'll
should
send
sell
you a link.
they should sell keychains, right?
I'll send you a link.
You know how they have whistles? You know how they have bear spray you can walk around with?
Yes.
There should also be like keychains.
Like
that are
dog butt
little,
plugs?
Yeah, dog. You took the words out. That's exactly what I was gonna say. Like little dog butt plugs, but there's like a couple. There's like a key ring, and it has like a couple different sizes depending on the breed. You know,
Yeah.
you get one for an XL. Because I'm telling you right now, the one on the Yorkie is not going to work on the Dogo. That's just not the way it works.
No, it's absolutely not. And, and there's only one direction where those are applicable.
Yes.
Well,
You'll
the
kill a
Dogo,
Yorkie with the
little
Dogo one.
discomfort. The other one, you turn the Yorkie inside out.
Yeah.
So, there's a difference there. But, geez, man, I was shocked. And I'm still so impressed. I'm like in awe.
Yeah. I didn't know that was a real thing.
Me neither. I mean, when it comes down to it, you got to give it a shot.
I've heard that before.
Yeah, me too. But I mean, who really is, typically there's not that many bystanders. Like there were a lot of people involved. Who jumps into a dog fight like that? I'm like, those guys definitely got some fighting pits.
Yeah.
That's what that was.
Now that you've seen this and you know it works, do you think that this is something you'd be able to pull off like in the wild? Like maybe not your dog, but dogs going at it. You think
if there's two dogs going at it, unless one of the dogs is really getting hurt, I mean, I would probably just go for slip a hand in the collar and turn my wrist over.
Yeah.
And I would just try to choke that thing to sleep. But who knows? He might thrash like this and break my wrist. I mean, I don't know. That was a big dog. Big, strong dog.
Strong dog.
That was like at least an 85, 90-pound dog. That was a strong, strong dog. So, I mean, hey, it seemed to work. It was the path of least resistance. I mean, at least for the people.
Yeah.
For the dog, I'm sure had a
little
rough time.
discomfort. That dog is going to be all right.
Yeah, he's fine. Cleared his glands out a little bit. He'll be all right.
Yeah.
Maybe walk a little funny for a bit, but...
And he looked healthy.
Yeah, he did.
Judging by that guy's thumb.
Yeah, he did. He pulled it out clean.
Yeah.
Clean, a clean pull out. No,
Yeah. That guy was going to a fucking sporting event. He definitely ate a hot dog.
Yeah.
There's nothing but finger food there. He undoubtedly ate. Yeah. There's definitely he had a shitty pretzel, undoubtedly. Right? It's like mathematically.
But hopefully it was the end of the game. Imagine that was before the game.
Oh my God. I hope this guy don't smoke cigarettes. Imagine putting your finger to your...
At least he can smoke with these. If he smokes a J.
Oh my God. Forget about it.
Oh my God. Little known fact in the chat, Chris. Little known fact. It works on people too. Next time you see a bar fight, just go after the nearest guy's prostate. Breaks it up real quick.
That seems believable. That seems like it could be true. That seems like it'll work. I'll tell you one thing. You want me to get off of you, that's definitely one way of doing it.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I had a wrestling coach that taught us that.
Yeah. That's like a big thing in wrestling.
Yeah, it's see, you've seen it done.
Yeah.
It's been done on big, large
100%.
circuit, high level wrestling.
1,000%.
It's that's something wild. Damn, that's comment of the night right now. That's chat of the night. Chat of the night, hands down.
That's the whole thing is fucking hilarious. I kept watching it over and over this morning.
Yeah.
I couldn't stop watching. I sent it to everybody. I sent it to you.
It was impressive, man. I didn't know what I was seeing at first. This is the first time in watching this now that I saw there was another dog involved. I thought he was attacking the old man.
Oh no, I seen the other dog. I think I don't want to keep playing it, but I think there's 3 dogs.
Yeah, there's another dog, but he's kind of on the outside. But what's crazy to me is that old man was pulling his own dog. I'm imagining.
Yeah.
I am not going to restrict my dog in a fight.
Depends how. All right, so this is what I'm thinking. If he's got a smaller dog, he's trying to pick up his dog and get it away.
It wasn't that small.
I didn't. I know there was another dog there, but I couldn't really make out what kind of a dog it was.
Looked like it was 40 pounds.
Oh.
40, 50 pounds.
If my dog, if your dog is significantly bigger, I might want to try to pull my dog away. But if it's fair, I've said this, you said this a bunch of times.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let my dog go.
Yeah. If your dog is going after my dog, the last thing I'm going to do is stop my dog from being able to defend itself. It's like if there's a dude pressing you at a bar and he's ready to fight, and your girl grabs your strong arm.
Yeah, or puts bear hugs you or something like that.
Yeah, come on, babe. And she restricts me from being able to protect myself. And then
I get sucker punched.
And then I get slept. No. Let me go. Let me do my thing. And then if I win, get the car. If I lose and I'm not okay, call an ambulance.
Yeah.
You got 2 jobs. Get the car or call a doctor.
Yeah. And make sure you get a real doctor. But it's funny because it's I'm also a big advocate for people keeping their dogs on leashes.
Yeah.
There's nothing worse than going to a park or something like that and you're walking your dog and then you get approached by a stranger's dog.
Correct.
If you've got a lot of control over your dog and he's walking with you, that I don't necessarily mind. I still would like you to keep your dog on a leash because I don't know that. I don't know that. But these dudes that be having their dogs loose and their dogs be approaching you or approaching your dog, you don't know how other dogs are going to react. It's not fair to the other people. Not only that, but I don't know your dog. I don't know your dog. It's not fair to me that you got this puppy on a loose too. Like, I don't know. Keep your dog on a leash. I don't give a fuck like how well trained he is. Keep him on a leash, unless like you're by yourself in somewhere in your private place. You could keep him, let him off of the leash. But when you're around other people, keep your dog on a leash.
I agree 100% because there's a lot of people that they have an overconfidence in. I was going to turn that camera. You want to turn that a little bit? They have this overconfidence. Nice, right there. They have this overconfidence in what their dog is able to do in terms of like callback.
Yeah.
Most people do not have a decent callback on their dog. Like
99% of people don't.
Yeah, so.
And even the people who think they do, they don't have it in those circumstances. There's a huge difference between your dog in the backyard coming back to you than your dog at a park somewhere now engaged with another animal or another person trying to get him back to you. They're totally different scenarios.
I agree 110%. Like, to be honest, my dog's pretty well trained. I've done a lot of work with my dog, but at the same time, it's a dog, and I'm not 100% confident that if I let my dog loose somewhere that they're going to come back. That's why she's going to come back immediately. It's distractions that are different. Mm-hmm. I'm scared she might dart into the road. I'm scared there's certain places where I won't take her off the leash. And, the other reason is I have to be able to control what's mine. Yeah. I can't control your dog's behavior, but I can control my dog's behavior. So, and as long as my dog's on a leash, it's your fault. If your dog's not on a leash and your dog comes running up on my dog, that's your dog's fault. Unless you're at an off-leash park.
Yeah.
In that case, everyone's dog should be able to be off the leash. But that's why I'm more often than not, I'll frequent park with a leash or a beach where you have to have your dog on a leash so that this way we're protected in terms of if anything happens.
Yeah. I've never let my dog loose in those leashless areas. My dog's pretty good with other dogs. He's always had another dog around him. But I don't know. I've never done it. I always go to I don't want to sit there and just watch my dog run around. I came here. I want to walk too.
Yeah.
I want to go see what the hell this place has to offer. Yeah. Regardless. I don't even know how the fuck we got into dogs.
What do you mean? The thumb in the butt.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot.
Yeah, of course, man. You kidding me, man?
Dog training, yeah.
Let's play it again now. But away from dogs and onto a very interesting subject, some interesting events that took place today on a more serious note. The Supreme Court struck down a 108-year-old law in New York that says that you have to provide reasonable cause or probable cause in order to carry a firearm on you outside of your home. At a voting of 6-3, the Supreme Court struck down that law, citing it as unconstitutional.
Yeah.
Which to me is a huge win.
It's a huge win. I did have a question when you first told me. I was like, damn, why did it take 108 years for them to find out that this was unconstitutional? Don't you think that's be something that is at the top of the priority list?
Yeah, well, not in New York. I mean, people in New York are stupid. There's a lot of stupid people here.
We're all dumb over here.
Yeah, they're all dumb. Like Chicago's the same. They have the highest and they have the strictest gun laws and the worst gun crime in the country.
They're literally, that's why I call it Chirac.
Yeah, for real. And in New York, it's a similar thing. It's very high shootings and stuff like that. And not to mention, as an American citizen, it's in the Constitution that you have the right to
bear arms.
Yes, it's
to protect yourself from tyranny.
There's bear and I think it's hold and bear arms is what they call it. So this way you can carry it.
Yeah, I like hold'ems and I like bears.
Yeah, hold'ems and I like bears and I like arms too. They're kind of work and laugh.
Thumbs.
But no, I've always wanted to have a concealed carry. Because I think that really
well, you should be able to. It's your right.
It's your right. And for some reason in New York, even when it comes to just getting one for your dwelling or for sport shooting or what have you.
It's incredibly difficult.
There's a mandatory 1-year wait time. Who are you to say that we have to wait a year in order to get our hands on a firearm that's granted to us by the American Constitution as a right?
Not only that, but how it varies from state to state is incredibly interesting, right? You have people who live in New York and then they go down to Georgia, Florida, the Carolinas, Texas, and they're like, yeah, I've been here for 3 months and I got a concealed carry.
Yeah, because it's you're entitled to it. Unless you have some kind of felony record or you have some extensive mental health history, there's no reason that you can't have one. This is in New York. They say that the theory is that in order for you the reason you have to wait a year is in case there's some kind of event, some kind of vengeance that you have. By that time, they estimate that you will have cooled down. To me, it's like if I have a beef and somebody's after me, give me that shit today.
Yeah, I'm gonna. If you
why do I have to wait a year? Like that shit is crazy.
I hope that what's happening is that they're just coming to this realization that most of the public has already came to, that when you make stricter gun laws, it only prohibits the people who follow the rules from protecting themselves, because people who aren't going to follow the rules are not going to follow the rules regardless.
Yeah,
so they're going to get their guns no matter what. These people who are committing crimes, like, they're going to get it no matter what, because they're not following the rules anyways.
No, laws only apply to people that are willing to follow them. And then you have penalties for those that don't. But the thing is also, there's really no actual living law on the books that says that you can't open carry in like downstate New York, like Suffolk County and stuff. You are technically allowed to open carry.
Yeah, but they don't allow you to. Which
is crazy. There's no law, but the police will arrest you. And people that see you open carrying will call the police.
Yeah.
And then you will get arrested. And it's like, arresting people under what cause? Under what law? What's the cause for, what's the rationale for arresting a person?
You know what I think you should do?
Don't tell me to go walk around open carrying somewhere and get arrested.
Well, you know how they have those First Amendment auditors on YouTube?
Yes, I do.
You could be a Fifth Amendment auditor.
Second Amendment?
Second Amendment, whichever one this falls under.
Second, yeah. I mean,
my major was in technology, all right, guys? I don't want to hear nobody talking shit about my fucking lack of knowledge of the amendments.
And again, this is just research that I've done from like forums, like gun forums and like, firearm owners.
Yeah, well, that's where all the experts are, so I'm sure you're fucking well informed.
Well, there's forums that are full of attorneys that represent people that have gotten in trouble for firearm infractions that were in fact not laws. They weren't breaking any laws. So I think that there's been multiple class action suits, because that's factual. There's been multiple class action suits in New York State of people getting together and being like, this is crazy that we can't get a pistol license. Like, you can't get a pistol license. Like, it's crazy. Like, you have to. There's actually I'm not going to specify the store, but there's actually a really good firearms store. They do gun lessons. They sell ammo. They sell firearms, guns, long guns, handguns, and they actually help you fill out the application to get.
Oh, that's cool.
Your pistol license, but they cite the options that you need to choose in order to be approved, because you're actually, if you say it's for self-defense or for your dwelling, like, they will reject your application.
There's a whole business behind that. By my old job, there was like a person who used to do exactly that. They would fill out applications for you. Like, you go over there and they help you fill out your application to get a pistol permit.
Yeah, because there's a certain way you have to do it, or else you get rejected. Yeah. Like, there's like, you have to get 3 references.
You gotta go get your if you ever had any run-in with the boys, you gotta go get a whole entire, like, your what do they call it, the sheet that tells you everything you've ever done.
Yeah, everything you've ever done, any law you've ever broken, like you're supposed to put down like any interaction you've had with police, like some crazy kind of shit.
Yeah, and then you gotta get 3 references from people. They can't be military or cops.
Exactly. They can't be military or police. Like, it's like, what is this? A job? This is my God-given Second Amendment right. This is my right, my constitutional right that's protected under the red, white, and blue.
Yeah. And these colors don't run.
No.
I'm going to look up what the Fifth Amendment is. So what would it be if you were a Fifth Amendment auditor?
Yeah. Shout out Chris in the chat. Laugh my ass off, Fifth Amendment auditor.
Let's see what that is. The Fifth Amendment breaks down the rights to rights or protections. The right to a jury trial.
Yeah, and not to incriminate yourself. That's what I plead the Fifth means.
Yeah. You should be a Fifth Amendment auditor.
It's exactly what I'll do. And then what? They'll be like, talk. And I'll be like, no,
I don't have to.
I don't have to talk.
Yeah, you go into post offices with cameras and just shut up.
And like, sir, what are you doing in here? I plead the fifth.
I have the right to not incriminate myself.
I don't have to talk to you. I don't answer questions.
I don't answer questions from your kind. What kind are you, anyways? You remember that shit?
Yeah, you're in the store, right? You're in the store and somebody comes over like, can I help you? I don't answer questions.
I don't answer questions.
I don't answer. Yo, this would be a funny ass troll channel.
Nothing, you know.
It would be hilarious.
It would be fucking
order.
hilarious.
That shit would be so. You sit down at a restaurant and they're like, "Sir, can I get you something to drink?" I don't answer questions.
I don't answer questions.
Would you like to hear our specials? I don't answer questions.
I don't answer questions. I can't give you any information. That's like the. You ever seen the YouTube videos of the sovereign citizens?
Yeah, they're idiots.
Dude, that shit is fucking hilarious.
I
They'll
give them a lot of credit, but
yo, these guys got big. They're always getting locked up. I've
Yeah.
never seen a successful interaction out of every single sovereign citizen video on YouTube. I've never seen like one get away.
because it doesn't exist. It's not real.
For the people who don't know what the sovereign citizens are, I can't really give you a super in-depth explanation of who they are, but they're essentially they're people who are like removed themselves from being like citizens of the United States. They're like independent, away from the United States. So they don't need, like, you don't need a license, they don't need like insurance, and they get pulled over and they'll be like, I'm not driving, I'm traveling, and you don't need a license to travel. That's your God-given right. And then the cops take them out and they always arrest them. It's always like they end up getting beat up and arrested.
Yeah, it's absurd because if people had any idea what they actually agree to by accepting a driver's license, they would understand that driving's not a right. Driving is a privilege. You know, you can travel all you want. Just walk your ass.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to drive and operate a motor vehicle, which I agree with, you should have some kind of, you know.
I think that you should have to pass. There should be a test, right? But the whole entire thing, it's like the privilege thing. I don't know why it bothers me. It could just be the phrasing and not wanting to conform. But it does sound like a little crazy. It's like, well, why do I need your permission to drive? I get it from like keeping everything safe or keeping everything organized from that perspective. But at the same time, I do kind of, somewhat deep down inside kind of feel like, motherfucker, I shouldn't have to ask you for anything.
Yeah, a driver's license makes sense. I think the other things like registration, insurance, inspection, those are all a cash grab. And that's nonsense and bullshit. Yeah. I think you should be able
But at the same time, can you imagine if you didn't have to have insurance? And I think that's state to state, because I think there's some states you don't have to have insurance.
Correct. It's in New York that you have to. And it does help sometimes because if some knucklehead hits you and doesn't have insurance...
Dude, that shit's probably the fucking worst.
Yeah, it's got to be the worst. So insurance, maybe. Yeah,
I'll give you insurance. Yeah,
I'll give you insurance, but registration and inspection is bullshit.
Inspection's total bullshit.
Yeah,
it varies from state to state. Some states don't even fuck it. Florida doesn't do it.
No,
they don't give a fuck about admissions.
No, just like in Florida, you walk in a store and buy a pistol.
Yeah.
You know, you do what you want.
A pistol, you could walk into one store, buy a pistol in the same mini mall, go to the next fucking place and get a script for Xanax.
Yeah. In Florida. Well, they've since restricted a lot more. They don't do like the pill mills that they used to.
So 4 years ago, you could have done it.
Yeah.
No, but
Messenger. Oh, what'd you say, Chris? That was retracted, huh? What'd you say?
Chris said something and took it back.
Was it a grammatical error or was it something sus?
When people take things out of the chat, it always makes me wonder.
All right, so Chris says in the chat, every time I see a sovereign citizen video, I'm counting down until their side window gets busted by the cops. Yo, you know what else is funny?
It's never a successful one.
You know what else is funny too? Because you know how people how there's those videos about people like getting stopped for no reason. Like there's a lot of people, they'll get stopped for no reason. Like let's say it's a Dewey stop. If you haven't noticed, they're not around the way they used to be.
What?
Like a checkpoint. I haven't seen a checkpoint in years.
That's just legal, bro.
It's not legal.
That's just illegal.
Because just like these sovereign citizens were saying, like that's infringing your right to travel, like to move forward or whatever the terminology is. So there's videos where people are getting illegally stopped at like DWI checkpoints, or like when they stop, they flag you down and, they'll slow you down and then look to see if your inspection sticker's up to date or your registration, and then they'll pull you over. So there's videos of people that are auditors and they're like, activists for American rights. And when they get stopped in one of those scenarios where they haven't committed any traffic infractions or haven't broken any laws, and they will be asked to lower the window, and they'll lower it like an inch or two, and they'll be like, lower your window, sir. And he's like, for what? Like, it's low enough. I can hear you. You can hear me. And they're like, lower your window. And it becomes this exchange back and forth.
It's like a dick measuring contest at that point.
Yeah, no, but those interactions I think are important. So, and eventually these guys that actually know what they're talking about and know that they actually haven't broken any laws, they end up winning those discussions.
Yeah.
Whether or not like it takes 20 minutes or an hour for a sergeant to come or whatever, or, you know, and then it gets sorted out. They get let to go on their way. But then there's other people that have videos where they try to do that, but it's a very different scenario. Like they got pulled over for speeding, they ran a stop sign, and they get stopped. And then they try to crack the window and be like, I can hear you, sir. And they're like, please lower the window and give me your license. And they're like, I can hear you. I'm not lowering the window. And they're like, you just ran a red light. Like you have to give me or I just pulled you over. You're doing 85 in a 50. You know, like you need to give me your license. And they're like, no, I can hear you. And then eventually they're like, lower the window or I'm about to bust this shit. And then they're like, no, I can hear you. And they're on the phone like, you see what I'm saying? They over here trying to just infringe on my rights.
I was just sitting here and he pulled me over.
Yeah, and then they just bust the window and drag her out by her hair or grab the dude by his t-shirt and yank him through the window. And I'm like, Jesus, man, like this is not the same scenario.
Yeah,
it's not the same.
I'll tell you one thing: when I get pulled over, I'm not gonna be plastered all over nothing. We're having a mutual good time.
Yeah.
What do I do? Did I do something wrong? You gotta remember me a ticket? Give me your ticket. Are you gonna cut me a break? Thank you, man. Have a good day.
Yeah, it's like Andrew Tate says. He's like, shout out my man Andrew Tate, Top G. He's like,
a little Tate talk for you guys.
Yeah, he's like tickets mean nothing to me. He's like, I make so much money, it's an inconvenience. I'm like, give me my ticket and fuck off. You know, he's like, and they're like, well, I'm gonna write you this ticket. He's like, hurry up. Can't you see I got this bad chick with me? He's like, give me the ticket so I can go. Loser. And he just takes a ticket and he just bounces. He's like, then I'm off in the Bugatti.
Yo, dude, I've been watching more. Andrew Tate is so fucking funny.
He's hilarious, bro. He's a goddamn prophet, that guy. But shout out Kevin in the chat. He's saying all he's hearing is more and more reasons we should dip out of New York. Dude, I agree.
Yeah, no, 100%.
I agree. I'm with you on that, bro. There's one reason that I'm staying here, one reason only. And she's got my heart. That's really it.
I thought you were talking about the fact that, you know, New York, like, you know, we make more money out here.
Yeah, but the cost of living
is also higher.
Significantly higher. You know, so it's like what you need. The goal is you get a New York State pension and bounce.
Yeah, or you get a salary, you work from home. Dude, if I could have left New York now that I'm working from home,
you wouldn't have left. You wouldn't have left.
You don't think so?
Nah, you wouldn't have left.
That's interesting.
You wouldn't have left.
I've had conversations about leaving. My chick don't want to. She's like, I'm not retaking the bar ever. So like, we're not going anywhere else.
Oh, all right. And Chris says in the chat that he typoed. That's why he retracted those statements. All right, I'll give it to you. Grammatical reasons make sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, my girl wouldn't leave. She says she wouldn't leave because she don't want to leave my parents.
My chick doesn't want to leave her family, and like what I said earlier.
My girl don't.
But I
want
was
to
like, yo, who's your mom? Take her with us. Bring your mom. I don't care.
She said she don't want to leave my parents, and I'm like, yo, I'll bring them with us. Or my sister's still here. My sister don't want to leave.
Yeah.
My sister ain't going nowhere.
Dude, everybody who leaves here is always usually for the most part happy. Not many people come back.
No, nobody comes back. I mean, when you move out of New York or you move out of California, you move out of one of these crazy ass states that does whatever they want, because we know that the state government holds more weight in the state than the federal government. So you end up, no matter what the federal government says, like X, this, and that is no longer illegal. The states can still make it illegal.
Yeah, states got you smoking weed right now. Not you specifically. I'm saying people in general.
Yeah.
States got people, you know, recreational cannabis in so many fucking states.
So it works in the other way too. Like
yeah,
federally, it's still illegal, but it's not illegal statewide.
They said, well, we'll take this one on ourselves. Don't worry about this one, because we want all the fucking money that comes along with it. They said Colorado made what? California's making what? Seattle's making All right.
Yeah.
We'll do it.
See, what they'll end up doing, which I'm sure that they'll end up doing, is if they now that they've struck down this unconstitutional law about concealed carry and stuff, what they're going to do is start charging exorbitant taxes on firearms. That's the way they're going to do it. So what they'll do is, okay, the legal shit and the red tape is no longer stopping people from purchasing weapons. So what we're going to do is price them out of the market.
Isn't that what they do with cigarettes?
It's what they do with guns in general. You know, a Glock in New York State costs like $250 more than it does in another state. Like $200 more here than it does elsewhere.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But I think with cigarettes they do the same thing. They like raise the taxes to de-incentivize people from buying them. It doesn't fucking work.
It's not. What are you kidding
Doesn't
me, man?
work.
That's like raising a crack pipe. The crack price. You think crackheads are going to stop smoking crack because it's too expensive? No.
That's never happened.
No, they're going to steal more shit or get more handies.
Yeah.
That's what's going to end up happening. Like, it's you know, nicotine is clearly super addictive. Like, people are not going to quit because you raise the price. They're just going to work more hours and see their kids less.
Yeah.
Like, that's all that's going to do. Or they're just going to clip cigarettes. You know, everybody's going to stink. Everybody's going to be walking around smelling like a clip cigarette.
It's so interesting that people still smoke cigarettes these days. If you've been smoking cigarettes for 20 years, I can kind of understand it. But the people who pick it up, like the people who are like 20 in their 20s and they're smoking cigarettes now, I'm like, man, you know, it does nothing for you.
Yeah, I mean, it does a little bit. I mean, it's a stimulant.
Well, no. Nicotine has medicinal properties, but you don't need to smoke cigarettes to get that. You can get that from there's other ways to intake nicotine that doesn't involve smoking cigarettes.
Yeah, that's true, but there's really no healthy way to take in nicotine. I mean, you can do dip, you can do those pouches, you can vape, you can smoke.
Yeah, irregardless of that, they don't outweigh the small medicinal effects from nicotine. Don't outweigh all the terrible stuff that you get from smoking cigarettes. Like, yeah, you get a little more stimulated. It's a stimulant, and it does. There's like very few medicinal properties to it, and it doesn't weigh all the terrible things that it does.
Well, nicotine isn't the thing that does terrible things as terrible to you. It's not the nicotine.
It's all the other stuff in the cigarette.
It's all the other shit in a cigarette and all the other shit in products. Like,
yeah, but if you have to get through this cigarette to get whatever the fucking all I'm saying is the juice ain't worth the squeeze. Like, I don't think that's like I understand what you're saying and it's a valid point. I just don't think it's like, for me, when I hear that argument, because I've heard it before, I've even made it myself. I'm like, well, you know, it's kind of irrelevant because it's like the juice doesn't weigh out. You know, there's nothing that somebody could say. Like, it's not like, even if people say like, oh, cannabis doesn't have enough medicinal properties either. You know, I think that at least you could say, well, you know, it does this for these people, right? Whether you say like it helps cancer patients who are going through chemo build appetite so they could eat, right? That's just one thing, right?
yeah.
At least I could say that about that. When it comes to cigarettes, like, there's not a single argument or that I could think of that somebody can make that says like, well, it does this for these people.
No, I mean, but that's what, you know, then we come down to America.
Yeah, but I just think
it comes down to people could do whatever they want. Like, I like an occasional cigar.
I don't think there's anything wrong with everything in moderation.
Yeah,
but I'm
exactly.
talking about young kids or people who are in their 20s that are currently like, you know, chain smoking cigarettes. It's just interesting to me that that's even happening with like all the knowledge we have nowadays.
Well,
right?
it's addiction.
Because you know, like if you say like 50 years ago when everybody was doing it, you could do it inside. It was like the hip thing to do. I understand. I get it. Right. But now here we are 50 years later, 2022. And it's like, yeah, listen, it's not the hip thing to do anymore. We know it's terrible for you. Like,
yeah,
it doesn't even, like, you're not even getting high. You know what I'm saying? You're not even there's like no benefit to this. At least if you smoke a joint, you get a good half an hour to 2 hours of a decent time. You smoke a cigarette, it does like nothing for you. You stimulated or you're lightheaded for a couple of seconds and then that's it.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. I mean, but there's tons of countries where people smoke all the time and don't suffer half of the health issues that America suffers. It's not really the cigarettes. It's other things that people are doing. You know, it's like most people that smoke a lot of cigarettes have other very unhealthy habits. You know, it's like, it's really, because if you look, like, you know, in Italy, they smoke all the time. In France, they smoke all the time.
All over Europe.
You know, in Asia, they smoke all the time, but they don't have, and they've always smoked in Asia. And you know that they did not have any of the heart disease that we have until we started putting McDonald's and shit over there. You know, that's what they started getting sick from. Not cigarettes, from American shitty ass food.
Bro, I'm not even gonna joke with you. I'd be thinking that their cigarettes are different out there. Like, they got different regulations and shit. Because when you go out there, you're like, damn. Everybody smokes cigarettes out there?
Yeah.
I was just in Europe a couple weeks ago. I'm telling you right now, everybody and their mothers out there smoking cigarettes.
Yeah, a lot of people smoke over there, and it's, you know, and they don't have the same health complications that America does. You know, it's like most of our sickness is food related.
Food's so good.
I know. It's so good. America's gotten very good at making food addictive, making it accessible, and making it cheap. And
The
that's
worst kind cheap.
The worst kind. You know, like you can go to McDonald's and feed a family, like we've said, you can feed a family of 5 or 6 for $25, $20. You
Are
can
you
feed.
kidding me? You get the app for $15. The whole team's eating.
Yeah, man. And that's what it is.
Just like I think that the quality of cigarettes is different out here, I also believe that the quality of, and this might be a fact and I just don't know it, the quality of fast food is different overseas too.
It is.
I did tell you that, and I don't feel ashamed to say this, but when I was away a couple weeks ago, I tried their McDonald's and I tried their Burger King.
And it was better, right?
Dude, not only was it better, it didn't make me feel bad.
No.
Something about like eating like a Big Mac or a chicken sandwich or whatever, the food from over here, like I always look at it like a glucose spike and then the down
crash.
and then the crash. I always I'm like, damn, now I feel terrible because when I ate out there, I didn't feel as terrible. It very well could be because I was a lot more active. I was walking around every single day, but it tasted better and I didn't have the same miserable feeling after eating it.
No, it's true. Like I've known people that have gone to Israel and they said in Israel, the McDonald's burger is completely different than it is in America. Completely different.
Okay.
So, they say it's better. The meat is like real meat.
That's what I'm saying. It must be like a higher real beef content. You know what I'm saying? Not like horse hoof or whatever the fuck we're putting in America. I don't know. I don't know what the truth behind that is.
Damn.
Remember when they were saying the Taco Bell meat?
Yeah, Taco Bell meat is like 36% beef. That's why they call it taco filling.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, bro. The rest is all fillers and silicon dioxide, I think is what they call it. But that's an anti-clumping agency. It's in my protein powders and stuff too. So, that's in a lot of stuff.
Yeah, but I think that it's the most interesting part about all this is like people consume all this stuff and simply don't know. And would you consume it if you did know? Like if you did know the truth about it, it's one of the reasons why they put warnings. They force people to put warning signs on their products. If you see a warning sign on someone's product, I guarantee you 10 times out of 10, the FDA or somebody's forcing that company to put that on there.
Well, the FDA is in bed with all these people, so I don't believe that. The FDA, the CDC, that shit they have proved for over the last couple of years with the shmemmy, they have proven that they are 100% full of shit.
No, but when you see, or at the very least, don't really know what they're doing. But if you see, I don't see it on this Red Bull, but
you don't think there should be some kind of warning label on that battery acid? You don't think there should be something on there? I'm talking about people smoking
cigarettes and I'm drinking this shit.
You don't think there should be something on there that says can also be used as coolant?
But that's also why they make you fucking list everything on the back.
Yeah, but that's not, do you know what that shit is?
I don't know what this shit is.
They can list it all they want. You still have to have the knowledge of what those words mean. What the hell is cloco acid red number 3 or some shit? You
I know what a fair amount of this is. There's definitely some shit I have no idea what the fuck this one is.
Of course you don't.
A lot of this shit I know what that is though. A lot of this shit looks like sugar supplements because this is a sugar-free one. But you're right. I'm being a hypocrite.
No,
I'm
you're
talking
not
about
being
people
a
smoking
hypocrite.
cigarettes and I'm over here drinking this fucking Red Bull.
That's definitely not a cigarette. So you're, that I
I
can't.
might as well go to the fucking bodega. I get a loose Newport 100
Nah.
and fucking.
There's no fiberglass in there. So I think you're okay. But really it's just in America, it's just, health and caring for people is dead last. What's first is the almighty dollar. Like that's what it's all about.
That's essentially what I was going to get at when it comes to the fast food and the quality of the meat. It's
decreased cost of making a product, increased profits.
But it's so funny because these are with the American companies, it's these are your people, these are our people. Like why are you feeding us this garbage to make more money? That's why this is happening, so you can make more money.
I honestly think there's a general incentive to make us unhealthier. I mean, think about it. If they make you unhealthy, you're a customer for life.
Yeah.
If the FDA and the CDC make it okay to, like Chris is saying here, in other countries they can't put sand in the burgers like they do here. So if they are the ones that are regulating, how do you have the same people regulating the food and the drugs?
I never thought about that.
Come on, the Food and Drug Administration, they're literally regulating both.
Yeah.
So it's if I allow you to make a dangerously unhealthy food, and then I'll just okay the medicine to treat you from the disease that causes, and then you can write the check.
It's a win-win.
You know what I mean? It's like it's absurd. You know?
Do these administrations like the FDA, is there a financial incentive for people to be unhealthy for them?
I'm sure there is.
I know they're like the regulators. They're the people who come down and make the rules, but I don't know like what they gain from it from like a financial perspective.
Of course, I'm sure there's some kind of payoff. I'm sure there's some kind of regulatory accreditation you can get. FDA approved. How much did it cost you to get FDA approved?
Yeah.
You know, like, come on, bro. It's like, well, you know, it's like all these regulatory agencies get some kind of a payment. You know, in healthcare, it's very similar. Like, to get certain accreditations, you have to pay these companies or pay these accrediting bodies to come and evaluate your facility or evaluate your practice.
Yeah,
it's
same thing.
That's
With
how that works.
Same thing with certifications for individuals. If you want to, if you're someone who's in IT and you want to get a Cisco certification, you got to pay to take that test.
Yeah, facts.
And
you really do.
And then you pass it, and then you get it.
Yeah, and then you pass it. Exactly. You know, that's how that shit goes, man. It's like, you know, there's a lot of like licensing exams that you take for like different states for different industries, and there's fees you can pay to get your results earlier. So it's like there's always some kind of move. There's some way that they make extra money. Like, say the FDA, I'm sure, is no different, dude.
I really do wonder if our fucking food, like the quality of our fast food, is significantly worse. And aside from like the sand and stuff like that, like I wonder what I got to see a Netflix documentary of a guy going place to place.
Netflix is propaganda, man. They have an agenda that they're involved with. It's propaganda, man.
I meant remember the Super Size Me documentary?
That wasn't a Netflix documentary. That was independently done and then made available on Netflix.
Yeah, I'm referring to something like that.
Yeah, I need an independent documentary done by a guy that just wants to out all this shit.
I'll tell you one thing: they got chicken wings out there in their fast food place, like real chicken wings.
Yeah, I mean, you remember there was a chicken wing shortage? I don't know how only the wings were short.
Wait, that's a real thing?
Oh yeah.
No, I remember.
Bro, there was a chicken wing shortage. What kind of birds y'all growing?
Didn't know about that. Dude, why? Do you see the chickens they sell at the supermarket? How big those fucking chickens are, bro? You ain't never seen a chicken that size. Like,
nah, bro, it's hormones and shit. And they plump them up with saline, too. You ever see those assembly lines? Mm-hmm. Like, inside those plants? Bro, they'll pump them full of, like, fucking 30 cc's of some real salt water.
Yeah, that shit's delicious, though.
Yeah, I mean, shit's delicious, but it's killing us all.
Yeah.
Cancer's running rampant, bro.
And if you want the good shit, if you want the grass-fed shit, even that shit's a fucking fraud, like a scam too.
Yeah. What? Sorry, I read the chat.
I said even that's like those stickers that you can like qualify for, like being organic.
Oh, those are scams. That's like fine print type of shit.
Yeah.
There's very minor, because that every product has a certain amount of like insect parts that it can have in it and still be jarred or bottled and sold. It's impossible when you're mass producing things in an enormous factory. You cannot prevent a fly from getting into the Jiffy peanut butter. Yeah. It's going to happen.
Someone's going to catch a roach at one point.
Exactly. Someone's going to catch a roach. A little mouse is going to fall into the syrup, and it's going to be.
Just hope it's at the bottom and you don't get to that part of it.
Yeah. Hopefully the pickles float to the top, and that little bad boy just marinates at the bottom.
Yeah. You ever found something weird in your food?
No, just hair. Hair don't really bother me. The only time hair bothers me is if it's all wrapped up in my mouth. You ever have it like and you're like, oh, and you feel it like pulling through the food and shit. That's when I get grossed out. But hair don't really gross me out.
Hair don't really bother me
There's no chronic illness or a life-altering disease that's passed on in hair. I mean, if I get a hair in my food, listen, man.
I'm going to scoop it to the side.
I'm going to just pull it out. I'm going to look around and see whose it could have been. Mm-hmm. I'll look at my girl. Oh, that's right. My girl went blonde. This definitely ain't hers.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's a little thicker. It's a little thicker and it's longer. This is definitely one of my people's hair. Like 100% sure.
Yeah, this came from a gentleman named Jose.
Yeah, man, it could have been. Like, the things that are weird is when you get like a beard hair. That'll gross me out.
The hair doesn't really bother me. One time, and this didn't really bother me that much either, but I found like a big piece of paper in my food. Like that, I had a meal with like cheese in it, and they didn't take the paper in between the cheeses out. I guess they had wax paper in between the cheese.
What? Yeah.
I went to go like cut my fucking omelet or whatever it was, and it was just a big piece of paper in that shit. That was like the weirdest thing I ever found in my food.
Yeah, that's pretty weird.
I never found like a whole rat in my Cobb salad or anything like that.
Nah, you remember? I forget where it was. It was some kind of seafood restaurant where that guy found like a $2 million pearl in his oyster. It was he found like a
Oh yeah, that guy was a freaking flyer at that place though.
that's legit, bro. He found a $2 million pearl in his oyster or whatever it was. It was some kind of rare ass.
They were happy that he found it because that guy goes there like twice a week.
Yeah, it's legit, man. I guess probability you're likely to find some shit in there.
Yeah, can you imagine if the other guy fucking found a guy who was just there for his first time?
Oh my god. They're like, we're gonna have to take that. That's not a pearl. That's a piece of shell.
Yeah, come over. Let me get that.
Let me see. That's a marble. Sorry.
There's a I don't know if you follow like the Nelk Boys or like
I do to a point. I don't really follow them.
There was a guy that used to work with them. He's still like a part of the organization. He just isn't. He's not in their videos anymore. Called Jesse, right? He's the guy that started it with the other guy, Kyle. Jesse now has like another channel that's like separate from Nelk. It's called like the Shithole Channel or something like that. And they do pranks too. And one of the ones they did this week was you go to a store and like right when you're about to order, somebody else comes up and they like cut in front of you and they're like, and they order. And then they make it so that person that ordered is like the 1,000th customer and they just won $10,000. So you're like, yo, I was supposed to be. That's like the pearl thing. It's like,
oh, shit.
Yeah, it's funny. It's like, I won't ruin it for the people who haven't seen it.
I would be
How pissed would you be?
Oh, I would scrap. And they'd be like, it's a prank. Get off him. Or I would start some shit. He'd knock me out. And they'd be like, dude, you got knocked out for money that you weren't even supposed to win. This is fake.
Yeah, dude. It's one of the girls is like, well, I feel like, it wouldn't have been me. It would have been me if you didn't like, jump in front of me. He's like, jump in front of you. I didn't jump in front of you. And it's like, oh, this says $1,000. It's really $10,000. It's fucking hilarious.
Damn.
I think that dude, I know you might not be super familiar with it, but I think that new channel that they made is like super funny. It's funny. It's interesting how like, you could see like a band or somebody like kind of have a falling out, but it's rare that you see like, there be a falling out and then like there's success on both ends.
Yeah. I mean, well, content creation is much different, than music. I mean, because, there becomes, kind of an understanding of how to create the content, how to put the content out. And it can kind of be spread across pretty much all content creation and be successful.
Yeah.
But music is different. Like if you're a drummer and you're like, fuck you guys, I'm out.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to have to find the rest of the band. You're going to find a whole new band.
That's very true. Another thing that's cool is like the reason why they like split up has never been revealed. Like it's still a secret.
Is it a negative reason they split, or did they just split because like
nobody knows? It has to be a negative reason.
You never know. It might not be a negative reason. He might have just wanted to take the channel in a different direction. He might have just been like, listen, man, I think I really enjoy doing these pranks. And they're like, listen, we're not a prank channel.
What they said was that he wanted to clean up his act and he wanted like, there was a lot of drinking and he didn't want to do videos anymore. He didn't really want to drink. So like he like stepped away from it from like a health perspective.
That's a pretty goddamn good reason.
That's an excellent reason.
It's
dare to keep kids off of drugs, like your shirt says.
Yeah, see, look, that Dare. You remember Dare, right? In school?
I feel like you own multiple Dare shirts. That's not your only one, right?
Nah, it's my only Dare shirt.
Is it?
Yeah, I remember. Who used to come to my school, bro? Her name was Officer Val.
Oh, there you go. Scruff McGruff.
No. I wish he did. I always wanted to meet Scruff McGruff. He was a cartoon though, but
that dog was weird. There's definitely nothing under that trench coat. He looked like a pedophile.
Yeah, Scruff McGruff, Chicago, Illinois. Flash my dick for free. Nah, let me stop. But her name was Officer Val, and she used to come through and do like this dare, like the anti-drug stuff. They used to show like the don't go on the train tracks videos and be careful in the train yard. That kind of shit. She was cool though. I used to love Dare Time because then I wasn't learning bullshit ass history. I was like, thank God. I was like, Officer Val's here. Woo! Thought we were about to go over fractions again.
Are they still doing that? Do they still do Dare programs in school?
I mean, probably not anymore. They're probably like, let the kids experiment.
They're listen, like, if your 5-year-old wants to try crack cocaine, then he knows he wants to try crack cocaine.
He can try it. It's his right to choose if he wants to smoke bass.
Yeah.
Let him do it.
Yeah.
It's not your choice. He's 5. He's old enough to do whatever he wants, except drive, drink, do anything cool, or have any chicks.
That's like the whole entire I could join the army, but I can't drink. That was an interesting one too.
It is an interesting one.
You could go fight for your country, but you can't drink.
I could take a freaking bullet in the head, on foreign land, but I can't have a beer.
Damn, that's crazy, right?
Of course it's crazy. Of course it's crazy. Well, they got to take you when you're young and impressionable and willing to go over there and lay your life down.
That's a fact.
But I went through a couple phases where I was like, maybe I'll go to the military. I probably would have turned out better. Who knows? I would have got a housing stipend, or
dude, you know how many
I might have never made it back.
I hear so many success stories from people. It's like, I think it's like anything in life, right? Like it could work out for you, it could not work out for you. But one of the great things about it is like there's a curriculum, there's a structure. So I think, in my opinion, it's like difficult to fail to a certain extent, right? Because you just have to. And I'm not in the military, so I don't know. So this very well could just be me talking shit. But it seems like because it's so structured and it's like almost a curriculum based. Like you just have to do as you're instructed to do, and you can succeed.
Yeah, it's like college.
Yes.
It's like college. So that's what makes it easier to go to school than be an entrepreneur and start a business, because there's really no written plan that you can follow to start a successful business and be guaranteed that your business will succeed. But if you go to school for, let's say, whatever, and you push through it and you follow and do everything they say, turn this in by this date, do this, show up this many times, do this many hours, and you'll have this piece of paper, and then you step out and can get a job. Of course, very
seldom.
Particular degrees offer you pretty much guaranteed work when you're done. But that's what it is. I mean, we could beat this horse all day.
Yeah, Justin's saying don't go to school for basket weaving and expect to get a fucking job when you get out.
I'd say honestly, there's probably 5 degrees that are lucrative. The rest are all bullshit.
It's super funny. I was just having a conversation with somebody about this weekend. They were like, "Oh my son's graduating and he's gonna be like it was a creative major. I think it was like art or graphic design or something like that." And I was like, "Oh, that's cool." I was like, "Is he gonna like double major? Or is he gonna just major in that?" And she was like, "Oh, he's gonna major in that. He wants to do like." And I was like, one of the things that I learned like as I grew up is like maybe don't do what you love as like your everyday job, right? Because it might just suck everything you love out of it.
Correct.
Maybe do something that just allows you to have either the time or the finances to do what you love on the side, so you can maintain that thing that you do because you love to do it. You can maintain that as your passion, and it doesn't become like something that you have to do to make money, and you don't then inevitably end up hating what you love the most. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, that's a really good point. I think on that, we can probably end on that note.
I'm cool with that. We're over the hour.
It's a goddamn gem. So I'm
dropping them today.
Work on discipline more than chasing your passion. Be disciplined. Learn how to do shit you don't necessarily like doing. That's a big lesson I learned from Berto. Berto taught me a big lesson because I used to get a little pissed off about certain jobs I've had, but they allotted me the financial freedom to do what I like to do on my off time, like the podcast, like be able to invest the money that we have in this, be able to invest the money in the things that we like to do. And that has changed my entire perspective. And if you've noted, I haven't disliked a job in a while. So, we'll leave it on that. So, be disciplined, learn how to do things you don't like doing, as long as it turns you out good, good profits on the other end, or whether that be time, money, what have you. This is Masters of None Podcast, episode 105. We got a little philosophical toward the end, but I'll take it. A little
philosophical.
So what do you got? Where can they find us audio versions?
All right. So if you ever missed the episode or you want to catch back up, you could always watch us back on YouTube. However, if you just want the audio, you can listen to the audio on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, anywhere that you find audio shit. You can find us there.
Yes, audio podcast. And also, when we do go live on YouTube, we also simulcast on Twitch. So we're going to start paying more attention to the Twitch stream because we have had some chats multiple times, and I feel bad that we haven't answered these chats the way we do the YouTube chat. But we're going to find a way to kind of integrate both live streams so this way we can pay a little more attention.
I can put it up on the screen here, too. I just fucking...
Yeah, we should do that.
Yeah, I'm going to put it up on the screen here next time.
So we'll work it over, across both platforms. And we appreciate everybody that's in here. Please give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, share with your friends, because I'm telling you, this is episode 105. When we hit episode 500 and there's 1 million subs on here, you guys are going to wish you were here from the beginning.
Facts.
So let's go, guys. That's it. Episode 105, Masters of None Podcast. We out.
Oye, te hablo desde la prisión. Wilson Manyoma.